Been on his private plane.
Yes.
You've been to stay on his private island.
Yes.
You've stayed at his home in Palm Beach.
Sarah Ferguson is said to be devastated, isolated, and increasingly confined to the house. Friends have fallen away. Invitations have dried up. And as Christmas approaches, she is facing the likelihood that this will be her final one at Royal Lodge. While Andrew, Mountbatten Windsor, is reportedly spending his days as a couch potato, watching television and disengaging from the world largely by choice. Sarah's isolation is different. She is not opting out. She is being shut out. With newly released WhatsApp messages tied to Andrew's Epstein circle, once again reopening one of the most toxic chapters of their shared history, those close to Sarah say she feels pushed right to the brink. Sarah Ferguson has always believed she could survive scandal through proximity and persistence. Over the years, she relied on charm, reinvention, and a careful balancing act. She stayed close to the royal family, but not officially part of.
Prince Andrew denied he ever saw his former friend with underage girls in a pointed and detailed interview with the BBC.
Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming? Yeah.
She distanced herself when things turned ugly, but never fully walked away. For a long time, that strategy sort of worked. Even after her divorce from Andrew in 1996, Sarah remained unusually embedded in royal life. She continued living at Royal Lodge. She appeared alongside Andrew at family events. She raised their daughters as a visible unit to maintain the sense that she was still, in some way, part of the furniture. That closeness came with benefits, but it also came with consequences. Andrew's association with Jeffrey Epstein became public. Sarah was never going to escape scrutiny entirely, but she attempted to draw a clear line. Repeatedly said she barely knew Epstein, that she had no meaningful relationship with him, and that she did not understand who he truly was at the time. That narrative began to unravel in 2011. The Mail on Sunday published leaked emails showing direct correspondence between Sarah and Epstein. In those messages, she thanked him and discussed financial assistance. The tone was familiar, not distant.
Always a pleasure to chat to you.
As I said, you've been pretty strong in what you've said in the past, that you think it's a very serious possibility that as more and more revelations come out about Prince Andrew.
While the emails did not accuse her of criminal behavior, they contradicted the public impression she had carefully cultivated. At the time, the damage was serious but contained. Sarah was embarrassed, criticized, and questioned, but she was not socially exiled. She continued to attend events. She remained part of certain circles. The door was bruised, not slammed. Fast forward to now, and the environment is far less forgiving. Recent reporting around newly released WhatsApp messages connected to Andrew's wider Epstein network has dragged the entire story back into the spotlight. Well, not that it ever really, but these messages reportedly reference the scouting of young women and appear to reinforce long-standing claims made by Virginia Giuffre against Andrew. It points to the claim that he participated in an intimate affair with 8 women, many of whom were brought over from Russia. To be absolutely clear, Sarah does not appear in these messages. She is not accused of sending. She is not named in them. But once again, she is close enough to feel the fallout. It shines a brutal spotlight on their association, and it's apparently pushing her closer and closer to the. Each new revelation resets the clock. Old emails are shared again. Photographs resurface. Old associations are scrutinized with fresh hostility. And Sarah, who spent years insisting she could exist adjacent to Andrew's controversies without being consumed by them is discovering that the public no longer makes that distinction.
After the financier pleaded guilty to soliciting minors for prostitution.
Now, I went there with the sole purpose of saying to him that because he had been convicted.
After all that we know about her own involvement, royal expert Emily Andrews recently spoke to GB News and described Sarah as devastated by the continued fallout from the Epstein email scandal and its repeated resurfacing. She said Sarah is on the brink and panicking. That panic appears to be rooted in a growing sense that there is nowhere left to land. People who once tolerated her presence are now keeping their distance, and friends who previously defended her have begun to drift off without explanation. The unspoken message seems clear. She is now viewed as a liability. She is said to be living as a complete recluse, barely leaving the house at all, not out of a desire for privacy, but because she feels unwelcome wherever she might go, anxious about being seen and judged if she steps outside. That sense of isolation is only being intensified by the time of year. Christmas has always carried emotional weight for Sarah Ferguson. It is a season that makes belonging very visible. Who is included, who is not, and who is quietly left on the margins this year. That sting feels sharper than ever. This is likely to be her final Christmas at Royal Lodge. The house has been her anchor for decades. It is where she raised her daughters. It is where she maintained the illusion of continuity long after her marriage ended.
Prince Andrew is seeking new separate accommodation for both himself and his ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, in exchange for Royal Lodge, according to reports. The Sun also reports that Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson have agreed to move out if Andrew can move to Frogmore Cottage and Sarah can move to Adelaide.
It symbolized stability, belonging, and a permanent link to royal life. The prospect of leaving it behind is said to be weighing heavily on her. Royal Lodge is not just bricks and mortar. It is the last tangible reminder of a life she has been slowly losing. Facing Christmas there, knowing it may be the last, reportedly underscores just how far she has fallen. The contrast with Andrew could not be starker. Andrew, according to recent reporting, is largely withdrawn by choice. He watches television all day. Sources say he is complete couch potato. He avoids engagement. He waits. Sarah does not have that luxury. She has no royal income. She receives no institutional protection. Her previous commercial ventures have slowed or dried up. The housing deadline is looming and financial pressure is no longer theoretical. It is immediate and personal. Critics argue that this moment is not simply about guilt by dissociation. For years, Sarah defended Andrew publicly. She stayed close, minimized her involvement. She insisted she could manage proximity without consequence. She chose familiarity over clean breaks. That strategy has now collapsed. According to sources, Sarah is still seriously considering writing a tell-all memoir. Not a soft reflection, but a book that would detail her marriage, her divorce, and how she believes she was treated by the royal family after their split. The comparison being made online is to Prince Harry.
I can have someone a patron for charities that are helping children, and this patron is openly friends with a known paedophile, and she knew he was a paedophile by that point. If you want to vomit.
I mean, there are certain things you can recover.
If she feels she has already been excluded, already judged, already written off, then telling her story may feel like the only remaining leverage she has. But it is a dangerous move. A memoir would almost certainly sever what little goodwill remains. It would place her daughters in an impossible position. It would reopen wounds that have never fully healed. It would invite a brutal question. This finally telling the truth, or simply another attempt to regain control of a narrative that has slipped beyond her grasp? What is clear is that Sarah Ferguson is no longer skating along the edges of scandal. She is standing squarely in its consequences. Tis isolated. She is under pressure, and as Christmas approaches, facing the loss of Royal Lodge and the resurfacing of the Epstein story yet again, the sense that she is running out of time appears to be overwhelming. So let me ask you this. Is Sarah Ferguson paying the price for Andrew's downfall, or for years spent refusing to fully step away from it? And if she does publish a memoir, would that be honesty at last, or an act of desperation? Let me know what you think in the comments. I read every single one.